tell you the phone back then. Last night, we didn't get into like almost 2 o'clock.
This morning? Wow. I know you tired.
I know that, right. Good morning, and welcome to What's Really Happening. Today is a beautiful day. We're outside. We're here at Dr. Martin Luther King on Martin Luther King at 26 at the C. Blythe Andrews Library. And we're here out in the courtyard. And I thought it was very befitting because, we have to get up and run because you never know when somebody's going to pull out a gun. So this is the perfect place this morning for us. I'm Bishop Michelle B. Patty, your host.
And I'm John Green, the Game Changer.
And we have some guests. We have Carmen, we have Corey, we have some more people that's on their way. We're about to get started. It is a call-in show, 813-728-1522. 813-728-1522. I just need to do some house cleaning. We're going to start with Attorney Thomas Parnell. If you've been in that car accident, especially look a little dreary, supposed to rain, pour down today, tap this number in. That's 813-975-4444. 813-975-4444 for Attorney Thomas Parnell. He's not about the hype. He's about making sure that your body is taken care of and you receive that jackpot at the end of your settlement. Also, if you need some information, I've been doing this for over 25 years, car accident, give me a call, Michelle B. Patty, 813-495-3702. And John, before I make these other announcements, we want to say welcome back. This man has been across the country. Well, you been in a whole nother world, look like.
Yeah, I went across the Atlantic, I went to Italy, and it was refreshing. It opened up my mind, to how the world moves differently. And then I was able to go without pulling my bang bang.
You didn't have to pull your gun. You didn't have to pull your gun.
I didn't have to worry about my bang bang. Right?
Man, John, you know what really gets me? Everything was so quiet all this week. And they must have known you was on your way back home today. And then all of a sudden, everything exploded. People at forums pulling out guns, people going crazy. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? But I thank God I live by the Spirit because could have been caught up in that melee.
Right.
My spirit first told me to go, and then the other one said, no, you stay home. And I listened to that right spirit. I didn't go over that night. I mean, you never know what can happen now. Things have gotten crazy. Talk about why they're crazy, but we're going to start Memorial Park Cemetery. They're going to honor their veterans on November the 15th by putting out flags. They put out flags on every veteran gravestone, and that's going to happen right here on the next corner, right across the street here on 26. They're asking people to come out and be a part of this here at November the 15th at 9 a.m. That's 2425 East Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. That's the flag ceremony, and I can't say thank you enough to the late Ms. Noreen Copeland Miller, who made sure that we got that back. Y'all know the developers had taken it, and Noreen fought, and we got it back. Her and some other folks, and we just say thank you for that. So they will be doing that. So people, come on out. Let's honor our veterans who gave their lives in service. A lot of them went through a whole lot. So we're going to get right into the show. I don't know where to really start. Let me talk about Silver Oaks. What happened over here in Silver Oaks? Silver Oaks. We have some chairs already. Over here in Silver Oaks, there was an incident that took place, and it had to do with a security guard brandishing a gun on somebody that had been something was going on over at Silver Oaks, and so the neighborhood, the community was raising sand about what had taken place at Silver Oaks about this security guard. So what happened? The security guard, and we want to thank Tampa PD for what they did. They did the investigation. Silver Oaks acted properly. They fired this security guard because he had no business brandishing a gun on this person, and they charged him with aggravated assault. So the security officer was charged with aggravated assault. So we say thank you so much for that. And now that was at Silver Oak, so that has been taken care of.
So let me add something to this. Now the guy where this took place, the guy name was Ike Thompson, right?
I don't know his name, but
that's his name.
Okay.
He's an influencer here in Tampa,
Okay.
in Tampa, Florida, right? And thank God that he is an influencer, because had he not been, this opportunity would have been missed, right? And the good thing about him being an influencer, it prompted quick reaction from the police to arrest this security officer. So that's really a good thing. So therefore, the community really didn't have to get in an uproar, because it was taken care of swiftly.
And you know, that's under the leadership of Chief Lee Brokaw. You know, we always beating our police and talking about them, but the chief say they had to do a thorough investigation. I think it only took 2 days, but once they did their investigation, they immediately arrested the officer, the security person.
Right.
But you know, people walk around with guns. They think they're big people. They can do whatever they want to, and especially when this law passed that you can do an open carry. People, you got to learn what you can and cannot do. Open carrying, there's a lot of laws. Does not mean that because you can get mad with somebody and just brandish your gun.
Right.
That just don't work that way. And so that's what's going on. Anyway, we just got some other guests that follows. Anybody want to say anything on the Silver Oaks matter? Kathy, welcome. Jeannie, welcome. And we see my friend over there. Anybody want to say something about the rest of Silver Oaks? Are y'all pleased with how quick the chief responded? Anybody want to say
I
something?
definitely want to say it's a good thing that whole incident was on camera.
Yeah.
And they saw several angles, because a lot of people was recording. And like you
Correct.
say, the guy was an influencer. So that's what expedited that entire situation.
Anybody else want to say anything about what took
Just
place?
I want to kind of piggyback on what Corey is saying. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Sorry, but I do too. I'm very pleased with Tampa Police Department that they did act on that and they did make an arrest. And one thing I want to congratulate Ike Thompson, the victim, that I just woke up, you know, from a nap and suddenly hit Facebook and I saw that. And my focus was on the 2 guys that I saw the gun and was on the Mr. Thompson. And so I'm kind of wondering, what is this word that I didn't know it was in Tampa because my focus was on the 3 men and what they were saying. I was attentive to what they were saying.
Right.
And then it looked like I could recognize the background. And it looked like what I still call Johnson Cole or Silver Oaks. But then I say no. And I immediately, after about 7 minutes, hearing what they were saying and what those are saying, and one had his shirt off, I thought I tapped off of it. I closed it up and I continued the next day.
And once again, we want to thank the victim because he didn't get out of character.
Yes,
he could have been shot. And
Right.
one thing we do know, a dead person can't talk. So they say he kept his hands up and he respected them. He kept telling them he's not reaching, because they kept saying you're reaching for something, you're reaching for something. And they say he kept his cool and he showed that he was not reaching for anything. So we thank God that situation.
And I personally, Bishop had made the statement to myself, oh my gosh, because he was standing between his car door and you could see him there. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, why don't he jump in the car and just go? But he came back and I watched this interview with Elvis the next for so many hours. And what I was so proud of, that he was able to stay calm. I know he was traumatized because I had a very traumatized.
And you mentioned Elvis Pickett name because he was one of the people that was out there is calling for the arrest of this person. They say he had a press conference and he thought this guy pulling the gun should have been dealt with. He wanted to be dealt with swiftly. And now we're going to talk about him pulling the gun. So, yeah, I mean, it's like a boomerang.
Right.
He wanted justice on this page. And from what I'm hearing, victims, they want justice for what he done. So we're going to get into that. But I want to just touch on to the sheriff department right quick. I don't know what in the world is going on with the Hillsborough County Sheriff Department. Once Anthony Collins, it was exposed because of his wife wrote emails and sent emails out to everybody about he had cheated on his exam, and he was the highest ranking black officer we had in the whole 180 years. And it was so sad that what happened. But now we see many more have they I don't know who telling or whom, but they are being forced out, resigning, that they cheated. So I think about 3, 4, 5
Right.
people who don't look like us was
Right.
also caught up in this cheating
Well,
scandal.
this is what happens when things start getting exposed. And I
Mhm.
believe that we in an era now where things are going to start coming right. All that what was is not to be anymore, right? It's time for us to start really dealing in truth. Although it's hard. I mean, if you look at this administration, Trump administration, from the top down, right? It's riddled with a bunch of BS, right? And it's time for the truth to come out. And thank God that we still have people who's willing to stand on merit, right, and do the right thing, which is hard nowadays.
And now, when you say, because I'm hearing that Anthony Collins' wife have gotten a real beating out here in the public because she exposed what her husband had done, and now we seeing the ripple effect of him being exposed. Now others are being exposed,
Mhm.
but it bears the question: who think? How many of them have cheated? How many? Who else? Who else is doing? Probably took the test.
If the truth be told, a lot more have cheated than what we can even imagine.
How long has this been
Right.
going on? How long has
Mhm.
this actually been going on
Mhm.
at the Hillsborough County Sheriff Department? And then we just witnessed where a attention deputy, she beat up her roommate, and now she was arrested from the Sheriff Department.
Hmm.
So a lot of people have been calling for Sheriff Cronister head. They're saying since Sheriff Cronister is the man at the top, that he should be fired because his whole the people, his subordinates, are running wild, and it seems like nobody is watching what's going on at the Hillsborough County Sheriff Department. Anybody want to weigh in on that? And people, if you want in, we're talking about the Hillsborough County Sheriff Department. We're talking about cheating. We're talking about deputies beating up on the roommates, getting arrested, and she was promptly fired. So we want to thank the Sheriff Cronister, whoever fired her immediately, because you just can't, because you're wearing a badge, you just can't beat up on people. I don't care who you are.
Well, I mean, you really can, at some point, you really can just figure out who's doing what. I mean, yeah, he's at the top, and the ultimate decision does go on him, right? Because he is the head man. But you don't know how these people is connecting to the person who's taking these and writing these, who's writing wherever he's writing for the test,
Right.
or taking the test and the exams and all that. You just don't know, right? So it might be, it could be a secret thing because you work on a job, people talk,
Right.
people talk, be like, hey, you can do this, blah blah blah. So I mean,
But
just never
you-
know.
And some of that, the ranking folks are colonels. I mean, high ranking. So it leads you to believe this been going on for a while.
And it has been. And I don't think he needs how he investigates it internally. If he does nothing, now we need it. Now
Okay.
he needs to be fired.
Now, what people have a problem with investigating yourself,
Mm-hmm.
folks are saying this should be done outside, that there should be outside investigation. You can't investigate your own home. Come on now, and expect for different results. So I think everything should be above board. Transparency is needed
Mm-hmm.
in this situation now.
Right.
But we see it wasn't just the black man. We see others,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to have cheated way before he assumed he cheated, and a couple of them actually admitted that they did cheat. So
Because what is internal affairs now?
it's an investigation.
Right.
Everything is an investigation. Anybody got any thoughts before we move on to what's really happening? Anybody have now? Anybody sheriff situation? All right. So people, phone number here once again, 813-728-1522. But everyone is waiting for, I guess, the information of what happened at the political forum. But I'm just going
Let me say this. We do this show every Saturday, right? Y'all know y'all love this show. Y'all know y'all love Miss Bishop Michelle B. Y'all love her, right? And you know you love her. Donation, cash app, Michelle B. Patton. Join me. I'm gonna give my $50 like I said I was gonna do. We want $1, we want $2, we want $3, we want $4, we want $5. Y'all getting some pertinent information right
Breaking
here,
news.
right? And it's all factual. You can go check it. It's on paper. It's on black and white. There's nothing scripted. There's nothing fabricated. It's none of that. So help Bishop Michelle B. Patty and myself and donate cash app.
But you know, John, I'm gonna go a little further. Help yourselves. Help yourself. This program bring y'all pertinent information. It bring you the factual information. Those of you saying that you wouldn't even know what was going on if it was not a program, because we do have the courage to bring the real information. So I'm going to say help yourself, because this, John, we good, but we have to pay for this programming because it is a podcast. But if you want to keep the news coming, accurate news, breaking news, then please give us a donation. We want to thank those that have already given a donation. We appreciate that, but it has to be on a consistent basis, because every month we pay for this podcast. All right, we don't pay for us, we pay for the podcast, because we love Tampa news as what is taking place in the city of Tampa. Okay, now are we ready to get into the forum that I'm glad I didn't attend? But before we even go to the forum, Carmen, you're a young woman. You worked on a campaign, and you worked with a candidate in this very District 5 race. So I want to ask you, as a young person, why you got involved, and do you vote, or why voting is important to you?
Yes, voting is important to me because I know what our ancestors have fought for, and I believe that everybody's voice should be heard. And so that's one of the important things. And as a teacher, it's one of the important things that I look for to make sure my students' voices are heard. So I'm going to make sure I do my part to help whoever is the candidate that I support to make sure they get.
And you're in your 30s. You're so she's a young person compared to hey. So what we would say. So, but we like the fact you as a young person see the need, the importance of voting. Now we seniors, we're what they call senior super voters. We are super voters. Come on for the super voters. Yeah. We are the super voters. So we got to pass the baton to the younger people. Y'all got to step up. And especially in this District 5 race, this is crazy. And I knew it was going to get ugly, John. I just didn't know how ugly, because I've been involved with the councilwoman Gwendolyn Gwen Henderson. When she won the race, I had Akila McCaskill actually come up and chest bump me, curse me out, and it was when was about to be sworn in. And this woman was just belligerent, nasty, just crazy. And I'm looking at her, and I had just come out of the hospital. I was just allowed to drive and be out because I had a tumor removed. So I'm looking at her like, woman, you're not finna beat me down in the middle of Kennedy Boulevard. We finna have some real, no matter what the situation. And I'm not a violent person, but I am going to protect me.
Yeah,
we believe in protecting yourself. Yeah, but I told her at that point, I said, listen, young lady, I am way old grown. I'm old grown. I can endorse and support whomever I want to. What is your problem? But this nastiness went further back than that, right here on this same ground when we had another race for District 5. And Elvis Pickett was running in that race then, and Thomas Scott, and it was ugly. And my good friend Ann Jenkins, she was supporting, working for Thomas Scott. And this same woman, and it was on a Sunday, on a first Sunday at that she tried to attack Ann Jenkins. And I'm like, whoa, but if Ann would have done what I did, I press charges on homegirl. She can put up all this paper and this and that. Baby, you know that you caught mediation where I say, okay, put her in what they call mental health thing. She had to go through because she had some mental issues, and the courts did that. They granted that. So all this crap about she was grieving, blah blah blah. No, we went to court, and I'm gonna think, and it might sound a little strange, but Susan Lopez, the Republican state attorney, she followed this to the end. They worked this case all the way to the end where I, as the victim, was satisfied. She did not just let it go, sweep it under the rug, because what y'all don't know in the state of Florida at the time, I didn't know it, a senior citizen, you cannot verbally, not physically harm a senior citizen in the state of Florida. That is a felony. And the only reason, and if Ann Jenkins would have put a charge up the first time, then she would have been, when she came up in my face, she would have been going to somebody jail or doing something. But because she had never had any offenses, that's why they offered her a plea deal, and she heard up and took that plea deal of the case. So that happened with me. So like I said, I know how ugly and crazy these people are, and it's so sad because I've been working in campaign from the president on down for many years, and we never had such craziness and ugliness that we have now. And people, that's why the nines now is so far back where you can't even talk to the people trying to vote. All this because of all this ignorance, and I call it ignorance, that's going on. So let me just read this little caption right quick where it says former Tampa City Council candidate pulls gun at candidate forum. A heated conversation at a Tampa City Council candidate forum Thursday night ended when a former candidate pulled out a gun. Elvis Piast and former council candidate pulled the firearm during a tense interaction after a forum for the District 5 Special Municipal Runoff Election hosted by Tampa Heights Civic Association. Candidate Thomas Scott and Nia Young, the top two vote getters in the last month's special election, had been on stage minutes earlier. Now, Elvis Piggy called me yesterday. He actually called me. He said he wanted me to hear his side of what happened. Now, he's saying that the young man confronted him. He said the young man confronted him, and he didn't know who this young man was, but the man told him, say, why are you putting this stuff on Facebook about talking about my mama, talking about my dead father? Why are you doing that? And can you please stop it? Elvis said the young man, he felt threatened, and he went and took it and gave the child to Keela McCaskill. So the next thing, then I guess he came back and I don't know, confront the guy. But anyway, he said he felt threatened, and that's why he pulled the gun out. Now Jason Marlowe, who attended the event, said he witnessed Pickett pull out the gun, and he said what Pickett is saying is not true. Jason Marlowe did an interview with a newspaper and said none of that. That's not the way it happened. That Elvis Pickett, pastor, was the aggressor. I wasn't there. I don't know.
So let's stop right there. My thing to the community, if you want to carry these guns, right, is best for one. I don't want to put this close to the camera. You need to go get your concealed weapons license so that you can understand a little bit about the law and the Second Amendment. That's number one. Number two, if you want to carry a gun, this is your G, right? This is for security. This is what security officers need nationwide to do, right? Mine's expired in 2027. I just don't want y'all to get my information.
Correct.
But this is a G license. Then you need a D license, right? It's best to have credentials than to be running around here without anything. At least you'll have an understanding of when you should draw your gun. You just can't draw your gun because somebody is saying words. It doesn't work like that. Stand your ground doesn't even work like that, right? So that's what you need to understand. So if you're going to try to use, oh, he was intimidating or he was coming after me with his fist, even if he was coming after you with a fist, you still cannot draw your gun because it's not life threatening. So you gotta understand that. That's number one. And number two, y'all really want to know? I don't know if you want to read this. You can read this. The law behind pulling your gun.
But you know, Junker, we would go into the meat of this here. The bottom line, that gun never, no gun should have been even brought into a forum. This was a political forum. And for y'all, you know what y'all have been putting on Facebook. I'm a victim of what they've been putting on Facebook. And you know, a lot of, I'm able to deal with it because I know who these folks, these parasites are. And I want to make a disclaimer. Elvis Piggott in this cycle has not been placing anything on Facebook about me that I know of. But you got all these other folks who have been putting lies, nasty stuff, and I've had to make sure that my family stay in their lane. We're not even going to go there. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to pull us out of character. Don't do it. But this family, they were hurt because their father was actually killed by a police stop. The father was having a seizure, the epileptic seizure. The police did not recognize what the father was having, and the father died. So for you all to put this man, what does have to do with this election? Why would you do that? But this is what they've been doing for years and years, just going after people, just putting nasty stuff, putting where you live at, who you owe, what you're doing, your court paper and all this, that. And so this young man, for what I've been told, and anybody that was there, if you want to call in, 813-728-1522. I just want to let people know that who was there. If you want to call in and let us know what took place. But we do know that Elvis Piggott, right on our program, endorsed Thomas Scott. He endorsed Thomas Scott. And so I guess he all in for Thomas Scott.
And that's what I was coming to. Scott got to take the heat for this because that's his. He endorsed Scott. Scott haven't came out as a vet.
Yes.
Said not anything, and he's the experienced leader. He should have been the first one to come out, being that Elvis endorsed him on the Bishop Michelle B. Patty show. What's really happening for everyone to hear, right?
And that was breaking news that Saturday. He said, I was going to wait till Sunday, but this is breaking news. I'm doing it here on this show. So he's been all in supporting, and you would think as a pastor, he would have came out and denounced violence. Just as a pastor, that would have taken place.
But we're going to go even further. Like I've been saying, Naya is not running against Thomas Scott. She's running against the Tampa Machine. Who's the Tampa Machine? That goes to Bob Corn for funding this, right? Goes for that coalition. That goes for NAACP. Angela Birdsong, and she
haven't heard not one word from Lewis, the president of the EP. You haven't heard anything from the Congress. You would think that they would have come out in the forefront and say, hey, we denounce violence. This is uncalled for. It never should have happened. Yes, it's two pastors coalition, and you've seen them come out and take us what took place, because once again, that's that machine. So they can't come out and criticize and condemn their own machine. That's not going to happen. But you the voters can speak loud and clear here in the city of Tampa, in this District 5 race, that we don't want to take this to the city council. That's why I was so happy happened when Gwendolyn and Gwen Henderson beat Goose, Orlando Goose, because he was a part of the same nasty, vile people that we're seeing now. Okay, and so that's why it grieves my heart every day when I think about the councilwoman passed away, because we wouldn't be right now with this mess that's going on. But I do want to read a statement from Ms. Young immediately the next day, and we talk about her youth. But this young lady has integrity, and she has transparency, and she has a lot of grace. She has a lot of grace. Now, this is what she said. She said, "I am deeply grateful to the community members who came out and stood." Wait a minute, let me make this a little larger. Y'all bear with me. Got have some new glasses as y'all can see. Okay, members who attended last night debate in the spirit of engagement and open dialogue. Your support throughout my campaign for city council has meant it so much. She said, unfortunately, following a successful debate and on the junk camp on in the debate, an incident occurred during which a weapon was brandished. My heart goes out to those who experienced this shocking and unprovoked act of violence and intimidation in the course of their civic participation. The sanctity of our electoral process must always be held in the higher regard. I firmly believe that our community is capable of coming together to address even our most complex challenges to ways that are peaceful, respectfully, and to the people of District 5 in the city of Tampa. This this incident does not change our course. We will move forward together. This young lady came out boldly and made the statement to bring the community together. She denounced this, what took place, this violence, even though what I'm being told, this was her family that this gun was pulled on. Now, there's a lot of things, John, could have happened, and I want my audience to weigh in on this. When they say he brandished the gun, they're saying, Jason Marlowe saying the gun, he brought it up chest level to the person, to the victim. And the victim mother, they say, went to hyperventilating. They thought she was having a stroke, a heart attack. Witnessing this, because this is the same lady who lost her husband to the police incident. Now to see your son, his life could be taken away right there in front of you, that was something. Then people also went to running. So it could have been a stampede. People could have gotten hurt because people, running, trying to get away. And then he could have had a gun. The young man could have pulled his gun, and they could have had a shootout like at the OK Corral.
Right.
Either his family or friend could have been standing there, and when Pastor Elvis Pickett pulled his gun, they could have pulled their gun and shot because they didn't want him to shoot their loved one. So this thing could have went so many different ways on that night. So what do you think about, anybody that want to weigh in on the incident? And we're going to try to talk over the train as it go by, because we are outside. And before y'all answer that, right now until 2 p.m. upstairs here at C. Blythe Andrews Library, they are giving away free gown. Any female, it doesn't mean you don't have to be in high school, you don't have to be whatever, just be a female and you want a beautiful gown, they're giving them away free, and they're giving away their accessories right on the second floor of C. Blythe Andrews Library, and they're gonna be there until 2 p.m. until all the gowns run out. So that's taking place right now. If you want to come on down and get you a free gown, they are free. Prom coming up, different stuff. Come on, and they some beautiful gowns, beautiful. So they're free. But go ahead, anybody?
Well, to pull a gun on someone, and specifically here in Tampa, and being one of the persons who was a candidate who was constantly told me a couple times that I'm a liar, that I'm spreading lies, talking all this, other stuff and all of that. But I just feel that you the pastor, right? You claiming you a pastor. You're supposed to have control, right? Number one, you're supposed to have control over your actions. And then number two, to understand the responsibility of pulling on some gun, right? The dynamics instead of just showing your gun versus pointing at it. Now you're about to do some time, right? Mandatory time you're about to get, right? For being that thing. You just became a felon if the person decides to move forward and pressing the charges. So,
And are they still with the 10? Was it what was it, 10, 20 life? So you're looking at 10 years at least, right?
well I know with getting caught with it, it was 5 years.
Mhm.
I just looked it up. It didn't give how many years in the state of Florida, but it does say that it's a felon and it's automatic prison time.
And so we want to be clear and very clear. There is an investigation, and it seemed like it's the same thing that happened at Silver Oaks. And he was working. This security guard actually was an employee who felt, I guess, in his mind, he was doing his job by ordering this person off of the property, but he did it irresponsible by pulling out the gun. So I won't be surprised if a Pastor Evans Piggott is arrested because it's the same thing, but it's even worse because you pulled out this gun in an occupied dwelling that even carry a charge. So those of you who online and jumping up and trying to justify, why don't you all stop? But so anybody want to weigh in on that? Anybody have
Can I
anything?
ask a question?
Sure.
From my watching Pastor Pagan live, I got the understanding that it took place outside. So is that still considered?
No, they did not take place outside. It took place inside, and the police arrested, had handcuffs on him outside, and they even Jason Marlowe even made a statement saying if it had happened outside, he would be dead because it was dark. But no, they say it took place on the inside. And from the young man, what I'm being told, he actually extended his hand. So the police gonna have to investigate, do their investigation, due diligence. And even if that happened on the outside, you still don't have a right. But no, all of the witnesses said it happened on the inside because people went to running. People say, oh my God, there's a gun. He has a gun. So this was on the inside of the place. And that's what Jason Marlowe said. No, he was like 10 feet away or whatever from and he's seen everything, heard everything. And he's a Caucasian who don't have a dog in the fight. And he's also has served as a council person aide, and he's served as county commission Gwendolyn Myers aide. So I think that's gonna carry some weight. These statements that's being said, other than what video they see their video out there.
Well, let me tell you what. Since Valerie Bullard likes to go back and forth with me, I went on her Facebook page because I know she's a strong supporter of Scott and Elvis. This is what she said about what happened. Tampa politics is dirty. I said earlier I wasn't going to form in Tampa Heights. Didn't feel comfortable. Now, tonight, a young family tried to jump Elvis. Stop the violence. Florida isn't rising, it's sinking. Anytime you say something, I heard, never thought I was join Elvis Live. I said I wasn't going to the Tampa Heights Forum because of this. The Youngs and Greens are thugs. Right?
Okay, wait a minute. She said the Young and the Greens are thugs. Now, could you please say who is this person?
This is Valerie
Bullard.
I have her on my phone because I went to her page. Now you can go take it down because I already sent it to my page.
And I'm glad you did, because what I was told that they all ran and took stuff down off their page and say it was some more things that she had been saying that was derogatory towards the Young and the Green family. Nina, who was the aide to Senator Jim Hoggart when he was a state representative, also when he was a senator. So these people have been on that Facebook attacking. Now for her to call these people thugs and all that, I mean, that's unbelievable. But I might have the answer to why she's all in with calling them out of their name, why she is all in going against Naya and her family and the Greens and this and that. Because if you all see, we put documentation. If you would go to supervisor election page and look up Thomas Scott campaign, but they have to put they have to not only donors, they have to put their expenses. So if you go to that campaign page, you will see where Valerie Bullitt, the same one who's condemning, bashing, calling these folks names, they paid her $300 for a campaign canvassing. Can you put that over there for me? So now it's showing what the relationship and why these people are going all out attacking, because they are getting paid. I didn't say that. This is on Bishop Scott campaign report that Bishop Scott had to turn in to the supervisor of election. So this is why Valerie Bullard has so much nastiness and so many things. And when I've seen the young lady at city council, this and that, because she said a lot of stuff about me, don't even know me, had never met me, but when I smile, I speak to her, and she give a passive smile. But then the next thing I'm hearing, she's going at me on Facebook. People, y'all better watch who they're sending out after people. And here it is in black and white. She was paid. She's being paid as a canvasser. I mean, that's really cute. But she's on here every time you look around, attacking on Young, attacking the family, Why can't they just deal with the issue, the policy? Because that young lady is educated, well spoken. She know what's going on, but they have attacked their legacy, their businesses, where they live at. Did you know they have on Young house and where he live and his taxes all on? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, here's the thing. This is what I say about thugs, right? This is what I say about thugs.
These are thugs and bullies that's on Facebook.
The first thing is, Owen is not running as a candidate.
Right.
But they keep bringing him up as a candidate. He's not running. This is why we need Anaya, because they can't say anything derogatory, dirty, nasty, anything about her. She's clean, right? So they got to divert the attention to something else, which is her family, right? Because they have nothing on her. But Thomas Scott, he owning this. He's gonna own that gun with Elvis. He owning Valerie right now. Him, Buckhorn in that Tampa machine, because Buckhorn is the one who funded him with them developers, who said that he has unlimited amount of money. So Buckhorn, Thomas Scott, NAACP, I'm going to add the Democratic Black Caucus, because Angela Bird's song said that she supported the NAACP, Valerie Bullard, everybody in that coalition with Valerie, and the Pastors Coalition that Thomas posts in the Florida Central. Y'all own this. Y'all own not stepping up for your own community. Y'all should at least, as pastors, come out and say something about this stuff, right? I'm over in Italy. I'm watching how the Catholics support their priests or bishops and all this other stuff, right? The Cardinals, how they fall in order and they denounce things.
Yes.
We, the Black church, and y'all, a coalition of pastors, and y'all can't even just mention the name or something or someone who did something wrong.
And you left out also, because someone brought it to my attention. Every time like Jarvis Elamine had said about the chicken come home to roost. They say Candy Lowe was the first one to like Conversation and Tea. When this happened with Elvis Piggott, and he did his press conference, that she was the first one to like it. So this group is a whole a cesspool of them working together, and this is what's going on. The developer, Naya, she's not a part. The developer is not funding her campaign. They're not endorsing her. So they're sending out these wolves to devour her family, and everybody to try to keep her from running and winning the election. But I'm hearing that she's picked up steam, that there's organization, the Ruthless from over in, I think it's St. Pete, has endorsed her. You can have Kim, I can't think of last name now, has endorsed her. That there is Kim, Pat Kemp. Pat Kemp has endorsed her. They're saying so many groups has come out and endorsed this young lady. So perhaps, I don't know, because we have not heard from Bishop Thomas Scott denouncing it, that he's, so they got to send these folks out. But you can't see, when you got people on your payroll who's on Facebook with filthy, nasty stuff and trying to the be calling a press conference. He know how to do this and denounce this foolishness. What you need to do is tell these people, the coalition, you need to tell these folks to stand down. But when he called a press conference, the whole coalition comes stand behind him. So they need to be out here denouncing this. People in District 5, y'all better wake up and see what is going on. If you don't want gentrification that has already started, that is already going on, you need to make sure you vote for this young lady who's not tied. She's not obligated to anybody, and that's the problem. They know that she get in there, she's her own person. They can't run her. So this is why the assault is on her, her family, and everyone. And what they're showing, John, on young, they own a home. That's what we all strive for. To own a home. That's the American dream. So what you putting out, but these are people, no job, no visible income, but the NAACP continue to sit on that property. And I'm pretty sure Doge, I got confidence that Doge is going to come through that school board. It's some people that's going to lose some job. But yes, go ahead.
You touched on something right there.
Oh, somebody said something?
Yeah, one of your listeners said, the Bible states, beware of false prophet. They have been doing this for many election cycles.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who the person is, but you are sure enough right, because I know for a fact, right over here at Cyrus Green, I confronted Yvette Lewis, the president of the NAACP, who always back and support Thomas Scott, about she was standing there on the property as people was going in to vote, telling them who to vote for him, vote, confronting her. I say, what are you doing? Why would, oh no, I wasn't doing it. I was telling people to go over there and eat. I say, you're a bold-faced liar. Yes, I told her that. You're a bold-faced liar. I heard you tell that person to vote for Thomas Scott. She's been doing this for years. This caller, I'm glad y'all are not asleep. Y'all see what's going on, and that's why I say District 5 is smarter than what people think they
And
are.
I want to take it a step further. I don't care if y'all don't agree with it or not, but this is my opinion and how I feel. I'm even going to take it as far as the school board and having this dirty money supporting Thomas Scott, specifically the NAACP. And not only that, I'm gonna put it to Jessica Bond, because she was the one on the internet saying that she supported that cause, the NAACP.
Yes.
So you can't. This is the Tampa machine, right? Who's plaguing the black community through the people who we are mentioning right now at this table, right? Thomas Scott, you being held accountable. Bob Buckhorn, you being held accountable for
all the developers
and the developers, that dark money that we can't see. And the school board, where we have repeatedly went down there and told them that it is wrong for them to be on that property. So their hands is in on this too. They're supporting it. They're condoning it.
They condone it. They're checking off on it. They okaying it. They thumbs up, however you want to say it. This, they all, but To God be the glory. Things are tumbling down. This whole little regime is being exposed, is being called out because people such as us who have some backbone, some courage, is not going to sit here and allow this to continue to go on. So, people, it's up to you. I don't, as y'all say, we don't live in this district, but I'm looking around at this district and how it look, and I go down on Waterside and have lunch, and it's beautiful. That's the same. It should be seamless over here. You pay the same taxes, you're entitled to the same law, the same everything, but because you will not vote, 40,000 you sent home and did not vote, and this is why this is going on. But you see the proof. You could pull it up for you. You see Valerie Bullock, the woman. She said the first time I ever heard her speak, she said, "I'm a returning felon. I'm a returning felon, and I this and that." And then she even talked against the culinary school that is going to be put into this new apartment building. Who would talk against a culinary school that's going to help this community when you don't know and you just sent out on a mission? Culinary, baby, people making grand theft money. These chefs got their own program. That all out in everywhere. The chefs, that's a chef. They can go to be big time chef making money. So why would you speak against it? But when you just go on assignment and you don't do your homework, then you get up there in front of city council and they're just using you. And I really like the young lady. I just think it's unfortunate that maybe she needs the income or whatever, and they use her as a mouthpiece to go out here and attack people and be ugly. Folks, we about almost out of time. If y'all got you want to call in right quick before we leave here, 813-728-1522. We're not going to ask for your name, your number, your blood type, but I know people sitting home has something to say about what's going on. All right, panel, do I have anybody from the panel, y'all that live in this district? Anybody want to say anything before we shut down?
Let me read this from Valerie Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second post that she put up. When the two security guards pulled their guns on Ike and he needed help, and for us to stand with him, where was the people and organizations who do so much for the community and the ones who have a good relationship with them in the police department? Elvis was there asking for me. Life is more than you and your organization. Now, you talking about the people in the organizations. My question to her is, where is the Passive Coalition organization, right? Where is the people at for Elvis pulling the gun on another brother?
No,
that's the case.
I'm gonna ask one better, because she's a member of the NAACP, the NAACP. She the one that went up to the podium and said that I was jealous of Yvette. That's what this is all about, a personal attack. Where was the NAACP, madam? Where is your organization, who's the oldest, the baddest civil rights organization in the country? Why she's not standing up? Why she's not speaking out for Elvis? Because she's not gonna mess up her money, her thing, good things that she got going on. She's gonna send you all out there to be crucified out here, because guess what? Your name is on this. You don't see Yvette Lewis. You don't see the rest of the people. You see Valerie Bullock. You're the one that receiving money. And if you ever get an audit, we're going to see a whole lot of other names that has been getting money. And we're going to see, and Thomas Scott, I personally feel like whoever did his campaign report, they made a boo-boo. That was not supposed to be seen by the public. But there's a God. There's a God who sits high and looks low, and he's sick and tired of the foolishness and the attack that these people have been levying on folks like us. Now, I don't care what y'all say on Facebook. The truth is the truth, and here it is. And to continue to attack this young lady and her dad, granddad, that's just I don't have words for it. Anybody have anything to say before we get about to wrap up here? Anybody else? Okay, I'm going to encourage you all to get out and vote. Vote by mail has already started. We have on the 3rd through the 26th of this month, October, you have 3 days, people, for early voting. You can come right here to C. Blythe Andrews Library. This is early voting spot, especially those of you who live near Fair Oaks and all. Come on down here. We don't know what's going on. As one of those candidates said, y'all don't like to vote when it's raining. That's what the lady said. I don't know. But on the 28th, folks, through the 26th, on the 28th is the actual election. On the 28th is the actual election for new city council. If y'all want to keep this community moving forward, as you've seen, and Kathy, you was there when we saw the demolition of Fair Oaks. If y'all want to see these things keep moving, then you need to cast your vote. And I'm gonna say it proudly. I'm gonna say it clear. I'm gonna say it unapologetically for Naya Young. We're gonna say this is the young lady that could take us forward. This is a young lady that's up to date on modern technology. She's a graduate of Howard University. The young lady is born and bred right here in the community. Her family has given a lot back through the different groups and organizations. So no, that family should be just who they are.
And she runs a nonprofit.
She runs a nonprofit, and I want to commend her family for showing people what a family look like. We don't beat up on the Clintons, the Bidens. We don't beat up on them because they take the Kennedy. These people take care of their family, and this is what Owen Young and his family, they've been showing you our family strong. And we want to commend you all for being that family strong. Y'all continue to run this good, clean race. And Bishop Scott, we're looking for a press conference for you to denounce that you are no longer associated with this violence and people pulling guns and these people on Facebook, bullies, cowards who are attacking people on Facebook. Y'all nothing but Pam Bundy. Pam Bundy was just in town, just arrested a guy for doing stuff on Facebook. So people, we will see you all being in handcuffs. And it won't be with AI like with Grady, what's his name? Grady Judge supposed to be holding my picture. We gonna have the real picture you got. We gonna have y'all real mugshot. Y'all gonna be in handcuffs. So keep doing what you're doing. Your time is coming. You're being exposed. And we want to say to those that was at that forum, we want to echo what she said. Don't allow intimidation to stop you from doing your due process. We are people, what you said in the beginning, that our ancestors died. They died for us to vote. They went through to have I like that part, to have a voice. And our voice here in the city of Tampa, especially y'all District 5, has been too quiet. Why? I don't know what y'all afraid of, to speak up and speak out against what's going on. Maybe afraid that they're going to talk about you on Facebook. When you know your name, who cares what they call you? I know my name, and I know who my God is. And so I don't worry about what they got going. Go pick on somebody who don't know. I know who I am, and I know whose I am. And that's why we're going to continue with God's blessing to bring y'all accurate, factual information. So when you right, and I'm gonna say this is my friend's name, and I just regret that Miss Doreen Copeland Miller is not here today, but she would be. These are her words. When these clowns are saying the stuff they saying, y'all better watch and see who they are. Follow the money trail, and see who these clowns are, and then you'll see what's going on. But the NAACP, and I'm glad that you said Angela Birdsong, but these are people who are protecting their money base. Angela Birdsong, the Democratic Black Caucus, what are they doing? Who they stand up? Where's the voters registration? Where is getting these young people involved in this election? Where are they? They are silent. All I see her do is put up a little banner, the Democratic Black Caucus. Where are you, sweetheart? Why are you? And then she even had the nerve to come on our page. She want to talk to somebody who had said something on our page. She want to get with them. Well, there's a lot of people who want to volunteer, ma'am. There's a lot of people who want to get involved, but they want to get involved with the right organization, the right group. They will not be used as pawns so y'all can go to Cass the Caster and the Congresswoman and get more money so y'all can have this sold to the poll walk. They're not about that. They're about, they want to see something, a change in this community that can and will be done.
Well, I just have to say this. Jesus rose on the third day, they say, right?
Yes, sir.
Thomas Scott missed the shooting with the 6 kids. You missed that one. Thomas Scott not saying anything about Elvis Pickett. Thomas Scott haven't said anything about Ike Thompson, right? But he touts experience and leadership in moments where times are rough. He's silent. He's done. The sheep has lost its way, right? The sheep has lost its way. It's done. It's over. I mean, experience to me would be Martin Luther King. I don't expect perfection like Martin Luther King, but he's not standing up for anything.
Because he's hoping that benefit his campaign. But the people are smarter. Kathy, anybody have anything to say? Because I know y'all say y'all be trying to call in and we don't get to call. Anybody have anything to say on this before we check out of here? All right, you good? All right, Jenny, you live in addition. You good?
Good.
You good? Everybody good?
Mhm.
Well, guess what? We pray that everybody is good. That's under the sound of my voice. That you all will get out and exercise. Don't be afraid of the bullies. That's when you give them power. When you bow down and say nothing, when you continue to be cricket, that's when you give them power. They have no power. And see, they can't do anything but what my God allowed them to do. And God is breaking it up, and he's sending that boomerang back to them. Those that was out trying to destroy my credibility, yours, John. Look what the real deal. Look who they really are. You cannot tear down what I build up, because I stand on principle. I stand on a solid foundation, the solid rock. So at the end of the day, we will prevail. God, and my prayer is that God will not allow, I'm talking about from the White House on down, will not allow evil to prevail. And I see that my prayers are being answered because he's calling them out. He's exposing them. He's exposing them to this community. So while they over there conversation at tea, hey, bless them, bless them, bless them. But judges, you're one of the people where I'm looking at who you surround yourselves with. Judges that I see are in bed and over here with certain people. I will not vote for you. I will not support you. So judges, those that are judges, those that have aspiration of being judges, you got to do your due diligence and check your homework out before you ask my vote. I'm not voting for foolishness. To God be the glory. John, that's what's really happening?
That's what's really happening.
That's what's really happening. King Kobe.
That's it.
That's it. Until next, and we thank our live studio. Oh, let's give y'all a round of applause. We say thank you. We had to improvise today. We were outside, but it's beautiful. And this is what I like, being out connected to the people. And we want to wish that Miss Young, baby, what God, and I said this on her post. I said, what God has for you, he is for you. And those of you who are concerned about she can't hit the ground running, but guess what? The budget already been passed. So she's in a great position because it's 15 months of learning and training that she can do right now. So when she do run for the next 4 years, she's already ready to go. And so Bishop Scott, my brother in Christ, I'm looking for you to denounce all of this foolishness. Let's just come out and be a man of God. Forget being the politician. Say enough of us killing one another is enough. Enough violence is enough in our community. Make that press conference that you will not have anybody on your campaign that is on terrorizing the community. To God be the glory.
And yesterday's decision is not today's decisions.
That's what's really happening.
Right.
Deep, thank you so much.